Alright, so we're going to talk about synovial joint movements. Alright, we're going to talk about six in particular. We're going to talk about flexion, extension, rotation, circumduction, abduction, and adduction. Alright? So the first one is going to be flexion. Alright? That's when I take your carpus, right? Here, in your thoracic limb. I'm going to take your carpus, right? And I'm going to be decreasing the angle between the bones distal to your carpus and the bones proximal to your carpus. Alright? So here, let me show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do here, if I take your limb here, right? For flexion, I'm going to bend it back. Alright? So your quote-unquote forearm is touching the pad on your paw. Alright? So when they meet, that's flexion. Alright? So now the next one's going to be extension, where I take that and I'm basically going to extend it away from your forearm, meaning I'm going to extend it out as much as I can, as much as your bones will allow me, alright, to where you're comfortable, alright? So this is, you alright? Oh no, you alright? Okay. So this was flexion, this is extension, right? When I bend it all the way forward, as much as I possibly can with you comfortably allowing me to do so. What we're going to do is rotation, alright? I'm going to actually be using from where your skull meets the first two and second vertebra of the cervical vertebrae in your body, alright? So, we have axis and atlas and axis, right? When they come together, they make a pivot joint, which gives you the ability to rotate your head. So, rotation is going to be the twisting of OC's head. Alright? So, given that pivot joint, if I were to rotate or twist his head away from the midline, that would be outward rotation. If I were to bring it back to the midline, that would be inward rotation. So he comfortably moves his head by himself. So he's actually doing outward rotation. Now if I bring it back to normal, towards the median plane, we have inward rotation. Outward, and then inward. Alright? So the next one we're going to talk about, let's see, is going to be circumduction. Is where I'm going to take your pelvic limbs, right? One of the two legs, whichever one you allow me. What I'm basically going to do is have the head of your femur, right? That ball and socket joint there, your hip joint. What I'm going to do is take the distal end of that femur and below, I'm going to rotate it in a circle. Alright? So while the ball and socket joint's still going to be stationary, distal to those bones, to that socket, is going to be where I move your limb into a circle. And that would be circumduction. So here, the bone's been below his ball and socket joint, freely move in a circle. As he loop-de-loops on my fingers. However, that would be circumduction. This is where I'm able to move the distal portion of that joint in the circle. Let's see, you ready? We got two more. Are you ready? We're going to talk about adduction and abduction. Alright? You ready? Come on, ready? You stand up for me? You stand up? Come on. You don't want to stand up? Huh? Alright, let's see. We're going to talk about adduction, meaning it's going to, we're going to go towards the median plate of your body, the median plane, alright? Or towards your body. So here's your median plane, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this limb here and I'm going to move it towards the median plane, towards your midline, alright? See? I'm going towards your body, towards the median plate, towards your midline. Alright, that would be adduction. You alright? Next one we're going to talk about is abduction. Abduction is meaning basically the opposite. This is where I'm going to move away from your midline, away from the median plane. You alright? Are you done?